From 1947 to 1991, geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and Soviet Union and their respective allies were described as the Cold War. As Russia continues to escalate attacks on Ukraine and sanctions are put on Russia from all sides, could we be headed there again? Joining us this morning to talk about this is William Inboden, Executive Director and Williams Power Jr. Chair, Clements Center for National Security at UT Austin. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. Good to be with you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So with the breakup of the Soviet Union in 1991, Cold War, that term sort of went away. Could it be coming back? Are we headed for a second Cold War?
I do think we are, yes. And it's sad to say, but one way to summarize Putin's strategy here with his invasion of Ukraine is he's trying to reverse America's peaceful victory in the last Cold War. So he has not accepted that. He's trying to restore the old borders of the old Soviet Empire, and Ukraine is the key prize in that. Of course, China is a big factor here as well. And over the last couple of years, there have been worries about the United States entering a new Cold War with China. And we need to remember that the height of the old Cold War in the 1950s, the Soviet Union and China were both communist allies then and were closely cooperating against the United States. And now we're seeing again Russia and China closely cooperating to promote authoritarianism, to resist democracy, and try to push back American influence in the world. So it does feel like a new Cold War of sorts.
Yeah, and obviously our world has dramatically changed since those times. What does a Cold War in 2022 look like?
Well, we're still learning. I mean, while it will have some features of the old Cold War, so for example, Russia, China, the United States all have large nuclear arsenals. We have our allies in Western Europe. They have their partners. Our countries, our economies are much more economically linked now than they were in the past. That brings a whole new complication, which is why we're seeing the sanctions on Russia. The cyber dimension is a whole new one that we didn't have in the old Cold War. Even potential contests for influence in outer space are new dimensions. And of course, it's no longer about the effort to spread Soviet communism, but rather just Putin and Xi Jinping's version of authoritarian dictatorships. So there's some similarities, but also we're in some pretty uncharted new territory here in 22.
Right. How do you think President Biden's foreign policy experience is helping prevent this or help it go more smoothly?
Yeah, I would give President Biden a mixed record so far on this. First of all, to emphasize the positive, he's done a great job of keeping our European and Asian allies together in applying massive economic sanctions and punishments on Russia. He's coordinating closely with them. I think he's done a really good job with handling the intelligence disclosures, alerting people what we knew about the Russian buildup. But I do think that in his first few months in office, he sent some signals of weakness and failures of deterrence to Putin when Biden lifted the sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, certainly our disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, and our efforts to orient all of our resources towards China and kind of ignore Russia. Putin took those as signals that he thought he could get away with invading Ukraine. I think he's very surprised at the level of Ukrainian and American resistance, but he did that in part because he thought he had, the Biden administration was distracted and he could get away with it. So the Biden team knows that, and they're trying to compensate for that now.
Yeah. Well, sir, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on this morning.
Great to be with you. Thank you.